Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
Despite efforts to improve the quantity and quality of education, the problem of students dropping out of school is still a major concern in many countries around the world. We take a look at some of the methods that have proven to be effective in bringing children back into the classroom. Below the streets of Bucharest, many Romanian street children take shelter in the dark and dangerous underworld that thrives in the networks of subways and sewers. We meet one organization set up by a French clown to find out what it is doing to bring these children back to school.
There's a hidden, harsh reality on the streets of Bucharest. UNICEF estimates some 1,500 children live rough in the Romanian capital. Most have been driven underground, finding shelter in the sewers. It's a dangerous, dirty and often drug-fueled existence.
What I miss most here is light, because as you can see, we must use candles, and it's very dangerous.
The fact that he's still alive, Liviu says, is down to the help he's received from an NGO called Parada. It was set up by a French clown, Milu Ukli, in the early 1990s. He sought to lure the children from their gloomy underworld to the bright lights of the circus. Parada provides life skills, literacy and vocational training to these youngsters, a first step on the road to a better life.
This
is just a drop-in kind of assistance to help them survive. For a street kid to be able to take a shower, to have a meal, it's important. It's important to have a warm coat and shoes. But what matters most is to be able to restore their confidence.
Parada runs daily circus workshops for the children and teenagers. The aim is to rebuild their self-esteem while having fun. Elsewhere at the centre, the youngsters are able to catch up on some of the basic schooling they've missed out on. But can these classes really make a difference? We talked to one participant who spent 7 years on the streets.
I didn't have boss. I didn't have anything to pay, like rent or any responsibility. You know, at the end, I get pleasure of that situation because I felt because I'm really free. And after a while, after I meet Parada, they told me, okay, Sergio, you was like this. Why you're just not trying to get out of the drugs and to become what you was before? Because you are not stupid. So they reintegrated me to finish my school, my high school, evening classes. They supported me with everything.
Parada can't lead these kids to a totally normal life, but it starts them out on the journey to one.
From the dark tunnels in Bucharest, we move now to the underprivileged slums of Mexico, a country which tops OECD charts of dropout rates. But here in these deprived areas, many families are regaining trust in education and its importance.
Mexico tops the dropout rates among OECD members and is at the tail end in Latin America. Only 65% of Mexicans pass through elementary level and barely 46% make it past middle school. In Mexico City slums, where the problem is most severe, many families, like the Sanchez's, are trying to change things. Missing school is not an option.
I want them to study, to become qualified, because I myself didn't even have primary education. I didn't go to school. That's why I want my children to be well prepared.
14-year-old Adriana not only attends school every single day, but does her homework instead of hanging out with her friends.
It's important to get qualified in order to have a better quality of life and not stay where I am. School's habit forming, whether we like it or not.
Adriana goes to Cristel House, a school committed to breaking the cycle of poverty. The only requirement for students is to attend 95% of classes and get the required level of marks in their work.
In Mexico, a country with a high dropout rate, one of the most serious problems has been the quality. So when the kid gets a good experience, when the parents get a good experience, when there's significant learning, when competencies for life are taught, the thing works.
A staggering 93% of Mexican schools offer a 4-hour-a-day part-time education. At this school, students spend 9 hours, during which they have breakfast and lunch. This enables parents to focus more time and energy on earning money and less on childcare.
Shaped like this.
Their kids learn in a safe environment, away from gangs, drugs and other dangers they'd face on the streets. Parents are also required to attend 10 workshops a year and cooperate with community work. Getting parents involved is key in the Cristel House model. When it started in 1999, the school had an attendance rate of 80%. Today it's 97% and rising. The World Bank is studying this model to see if it can be applied in other countries.
Some children who grow up surrounded by unemployment question the point in having an education. How can these young people regain their trust in the future and be encouraged to finish their schooling? One man in the UK has found a new method to keep pupils in the classroom. Let's find out what it is.
At first glance, it appears to be the perfect English seaside resort. But Margate is no postcard paradise. With an unemployment rate of around 20%, it's among the poorest towns in southern England. One man who deals with this reality on a daily basis is head teacher Paul Luxmoor.
We've had pressure from parents telling us, don't try to raise the expectations of our children, they'll just be dashed. You are raising their hopes for nothing. There is no employment. Only unemployment. There's no point them working hard in school. There is no future for them.
3 years ago, some teachers decided to challenge that view, staking everything on a new curriculum called IBCC. The International Baccalaureate was normally reserved for schools of excellence, but the creators wanted to adapt it to broaden its appeal. Their idea to mix unconventional academic subjects with vocational training.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All on one breath, because we were doing like, it's true about diaphragm now.
This morning, Alfie and Alison have art class. The school has helped them achieve their dream of creating a comedy musical. In return, they have to push ahead with other practical academic pursuits.
It's not just like English, math, science. They're still in IB, but where you get to choose your own subject, you get to choose what you want to do yourself, what would fit you best as a person. You don't just read up on something, write an essay. You will fully investigate into every aspect.
I wasn't so great at essay writing. I wasn't a strong writer, but I think with lessons such as anthropology, it's improved my writing ability. I think that to have a personalised course, when you know what you're weak at, you can improve it. When you know what you're passionate about, you can write about it. It allows you to really be your own person.
For the president of the International Baccalaureate, educators need to push the boundaries of traditional school activities to accommodate students and their needs in a changing world.
Everything we do, we focus on the student, so they gain confidence in their academic abilities, and they gain confidence in their capability to be viable and pliable internationally. And they gain skills necessary to survive in a world where information is changing at such a rapid rate.
It's an approach that appears to be working at King Ethelbert School. Some 70% of its students are now preparing to move on to university.
And now over to you. Did you ever consider dropping out of school? If you left school early, how did it make a difference to your life? We look forward to reading your thoughts on our social media pages. Goodbye.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.